Ever been in the heart of a bustling city, surrounded by a sea of faces, and yet felt as if you were the only soul in existence? I remember a moment like that. I was in the middle of Times Square, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of the city, the sparkling advertisement boards, the laughter and chatter of tourists, and yet I felt as if I was standing alone on an uninhabited island. I was physically present, but emotionally, I felt miles away. It was as if I was looking at the world through a glass wall. I could see the happy, connected people, but couldn't be one of them. This, my friends, is the paradox of loneliness in a crowd. Have you ever been to a party, and while the music is loud and the room is full of laughter and chatter, you've still felt an eerie silence engulfing you? I remember one such Christmas party. I was surrounded by friends and family with the sweet scent of mulled wine in the air, the room wrapped in the warm glow of fairy lights. But despite the merry atmosphere, I felt a chill of isolation creeping up on me. I was part of the crowd, yet strangely detached. It was as if my laughter was mechanical, my conversations as empty as the void I felt within me. But let me tell you one thing. If you've ever experienced this, you aren't alone. I've spoken to people from walks of life, from corporate executives to artists, from teenagers to octogenarians, and they've all confessed to have felt like this at some point. Loneliness is a universal human experience that transcends all barriers. It's an enigmatic that binds us in a melancholic embrace, reminding us of our shared human experiences. Loneliness, as I've come to realize, is not necessarily about being alone. It's about feeling alone. It's the emotional echo of not being connected. It's the sinking feeling of being in a crowded room and yet feeling isolated. It's the hollow emptiness that gnaws at our hearts, the profound silence that drowns out the surrounding noise, the invisible wall that isolates us within our own minds. The ironic truth is that you can feel lonely even in a bustling crowd, but you can also feel content in solitude. I remember one winter afternoon when I sat by the window, alone with a book and a cup of hot chocolate, and I felt a calming sense of peace. It's this paradoxical nature of loneliness that makes it so uniquely human. Feeling alone amidst a crowd is a complex emotion, a reflection of our intricate human mind. It's a shared human experience that binds us in our solitude, making us realize that even in our loneliness, we are never truly alone. Now, let's delve into some practical strategies to combat loneliness. First, acknowledge your feelings. It's natural to feel lonely and disconnected. Recognizing this is the initial path towards dealing with it. Next, seek connections. Engage in activities that you love, join clubs or groups with similar interests. Remember, it's not about amassing countless connections, but establishing quality ones. One significant relationship can greatly alleviate feelings of loneliness. Physical activity is another excellent strategy. Exercise triggers the release of chemicals that can uplift your mood and induce tranquility. So, venture out for a run, join a yoga class, or simply stroll around your neighborhood. Another effective way to tackle loneliness is volunteering. Assisting others can foster a sense of purpose and social connectivity. It's a great opportunity to meet people and nurture meaningful relationships. Practicing mindfulness and gratitude is another technique. Concentrating on the present and appreciating what you have can foster a deeper connection with the world. Finally, if loneliness prevails, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Trained therapists and counselors can provide tools and strategies to combat loneliness. Dealing with loneliness involves recognizing your feelings, seeking connections, involving in physical activity, volunteering, practicing mindfulness and gratitude, and seeking professional help if essential. Remember, everyone confronts loneliness in their lifetime. It's part of the human experience, but armed with these strategies, you can navigate through these feelings and find connection and satisfaction. Because, in the end, it's not about never feeling lonely. It's about understanding what to do when you are lonely. Therefore, The next time you find yourself feeling alone in a crowd, recall these strategies. They might just make all the difference.